Hi everyone, it's Vicki and Natalie and we're back again this week to talk about the final of the Great British Sewing Bee and to do a little recap of our favourite moments from the series. So a couple of weeks ago we were back and we were chatting about the final, but we didn't give any spoilers at all, and we were talking more about what we would have done in the final, weren't we? So this week we're actually here to talk, hopefully everybody's had a chance to watch the final now. If not, pause this, go and watch it and come back. So we can chat all things about, what the three contestants made, the three challenges, and all that good stuff from the final. But before we get stuck into that, tell us, Nat, what you're wearing.
Yep, I'm feeling very fashionista today. This is a Tilly and the Buttons Lyra dress, and it's made from our Minerva exclusive Visco Shelley Pop Cheetah, which is such a popular print, isn't it? I mean, it's so nice.
I've got a wilder gown top in that.
I think even people who have said I'm not really an animal print person like this because
do you think it's the colour that does that? Because it is like the red and pink. It's so
just imagine it in different colourways as well. It would read completely differently. We have a lot of animal prints. And
we love an animal
crazy
print,
kind of prints. But and what are you wearing this year?
And I'm wearing, so this is a New Look pattern, number 6439, and it's a really simple jersey top V-neck, which I love. And this is in our Minerva exclusive viscose jersey fabric, and it's the floral resort print.
So lush.
It's
really nice.
I have a few things
in
this print now.
A few before. I think last time you were wearing something like we were saying, it was nice to have black as a base. For then the flowers
pops
to pop off as well.
It's
really nice.
And I do think this print, it's one of them that you can wear all year round, isn't it?
100%.
This is my kind of go-to top.
Yeah, you're ready for autumn.
I
think this is as well, to be honest. It's how you style things, isn't
if you wore that with tights and boots and maybe a cardigan when it's really cold. Pockets. I've never made the Lyra, and it's been on my to-do list since it came out. I mean,
there's so many Tilly and the Buttons patterns that are on my list.
Is there?
Yeah. It's such a versatile brand, isn't it?
Yeah, it just looks comfy, but it's so stylish at the same time. Yeah, I love it. So let's get stuck in. Let's chat about the final then.
It feels good to finally talk about it.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Yeah.
Because it was such a good episode. I enjoyed it so much.
I loved it. I love the final. I love how it, it builds in anticipation, doesn't it? And to kind of expect show-stopping pieces, something really fabulous for that last challenge. And I loved it. I really loved this series.
And what fabulous three contestants I have in the final as well, because they really represent a different area of sewing or kind of a different point of inspiration.
Yes.
So it was
Asma's very technically correct and her, she was very creative, but I think the Sewing Bee brought that out in her more.
It forced her to think, how could you take this to another level? Because she does elegance and really good sewing really well. So it's putting an extra spin on that or an interpretation. And then Mia's from
just a fireball of creativity, isn't she?
Ready to go on to college or, to do the costume design that she's going to do. So and you could see from her sewing space as well, because we got a little bit of a snippet in there. You could see just all the different crafts and disciplines that she just do, move to one thing, do this and do that. And again, it's an absolute feat that she has only been sewing for less than 2 years, I think they said. She just picked out in lockdown and just picked it up. So then the things we saw from her, the big pom-poms, she brought her other crafting game to the competition. And then Tony, just fantastic. Again, I feel like Tony sees something and just goes, I'm going to make that, and then just does it. He can achieve the bags, the boilers, just everything. He's got such a style.
Unique way of approaching every project, hasn't he? And I think approaching things in a way that not necessarily that many of us would, fearless, absolutely. And coming from sewing a lot of menswear for yourself, coming into a women's wear, predominantly women's wear competition, and absolutely smashing it. It's so impressive. And it was great to see a guy in the final, wasn't it? And
did you see his t-shirt as well? Rage Against the Sewing Machine.
I loved it.
But absolutely worthy competitors, so interesting to watch throughout the series and for the final. And just such nice people as well. I know they're all lovely, but I was just they're all bigging each other up throughout the whole thing.
That's it's so lovely, that part of the Sewing Bee, isn't it? There's not many competitions like that.
No, especially American ones where they get all really competitive and stuff. At least in the UK, everyone's well done, or Bake Off and things like that as well. It's very similar. It's lovely.
It really is.
So yeah, the first challenge, the pattern challenge.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, I think that was a difficult challenge in the time allowance they had. So it's this Victoriana style dress, wasn't it? So it had, I mean, one they had to pick a tricky fabric because it had to be something that was elegant and luxurious, and then it had puff sleeves, and it had like the netting in the top of the sleeve heads to give it like extra puff. It was a double frill on the sleeve, frill around the bottom. It had those French darts in the bodice, just everything that, like, I remember Asmus was saying that, like, I've made dresses like this before, I should be able to do this well. But I think the fabric tripped them up a little bit. Yeah. I mean, when I saw Asma and Tony pick Lame fabric, I was like, no, don't do it. Don't do it. Not in that time long.
This is a final. I've got to go for it. I've got to go, like, showstopper. I've got to, like, but very, very hard because it involved for them overlocking things that wouldn't normally require overlocking just to stop the fraying, but they were absolute troopers. Honestly.
They did such good. I mean, I thought Mia's was fabulous. I think the fabric she chose, that sort of like satiny jacquard animal print, was beautiful. But even that, you know, like I was saying, the lame was difficult, but you know, a slippery satin like that, again, it's, you know, it's just something you need time and patience with, not against the clock, isn't it? But the lame fabric, when I saw like Tony's just fraying and
like chill as well when it was just fraying, I would have been I probably would have said, I need a minute, camera people. Or you know, just like,
leave me alone a minute.
They were also outwardly, I mean, all of them were just like, I'm struggling, or I'm frazzled, but not showing it, you know.
Yeah, they did all seem very calm, didn't
chill.
they? Yeah, which I think is definitely got to be the best way to be, hasn't it? Because you don't get anywhere by panicking in a situation like that.
No, that's very true. Yeah. So 3 gorgeous dresses.
Yes, beautiful. And they all had impact because of the fabric they chose, didn't they? Yeah. And I think like the scoring stage on who won, when you get to the final, it's all very, it's so nitpicky, close. Isn't it? You all did really good.
Even down to pressing it or being able to press it out or cutting off the ties of the overlocking thread, like, you know, things that you almost don't care about if you made it, you know, you're like, I've made a garment. So, you know, it was really good, and congrats to Mia for her excellent fabric choice. Yeah,
absolutely.
So for our second
one, if I'm completely honest, this was probably, again, you know, I've said plenty of times, it's my least favourite part is the transformation, and it was my least favourite in the final, but I still thought it was fun. I think you really liked it, didn't you?
Yeah, I mean, it was fun to spotlight that as a challenge, as a concept.
Yes.
To take and make different, you know,
and I liked that the idea was that you're making something for the red carpet, so that, you know, it should be glamorous and, you know, like over the top, and
just so I think the contestants could only really show what they were going to, or, you know, like a sort of snippet of what they could do.
Because
you know, you're not going to make a red carpet gown in half. You know, I don't know how much time they had for that, but it was
not a
very
long time, is it?
So they all had quite fun design elements. There was some big puffy sleeves. There was some like stripes, some metallic, some ruching. Like, it was all good. They had good ideas there, but they're just never going to get
My favourite in that was Asma's, and she did win it, didn't she? And I thought it was the one sleeve that sold it to me, and that really like silvery metallic fabric that sort of like ruched in a couple of times. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, if we're going red carpet, we're going for something cool that you just wouldn't emulate for like an everyday look.
Yeah, but I thought Tony's with like the sort of the 70s kind of spin on it with the big collar. I thought that, and actually the thing I liked most about his, I think, was the stripe down the trousers, and he'd added like a little panel, like a gaudy sort of panel in like the insides of the legs. I thought that was cool. And then Mia's, I thought, was just so Mia, wasn't it, with all like the ruffles of
if in doubt,
drape.
Drape.
Yeah,
she can't drape
I think she
anymore.
said, didn't she, that she actually liked the transformation challenges when they had the more obscure fabrics, like a shower curtain or whatever. It's funny, isn't it, that somebody's actually liking
that's sort of like a more, you know, then you're just working with a piece of fabric that you're placing on, and you've got lots to work with. But if you're taking clothes that already have a shape and are tailored to a point, you have to cut them apart and stick them back on.
And I think consider as well, like, I don't know, say if you were working with a shirt or something, like the original details and how you might then incorporate them. It's just different to working with a big shower curtain piece, isn't it? Yeah.
And tricky fabrics across the board, as we said.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it was fun. It was really great. I hope they had fun doing it.
Yeah. It was a fun one to end on, wasn't it?
Yes.
And then the made to measure.
Yes, it was really cool.
Oh yeah, I love how in the final that they make for like friends or family, the choice. Just adds a nice personal connection for them.
Yeah, it was. It was actually quite emotional to see them bring in their friends and family.
And I think just like you can tell, can't you, that they're friends with family, whoever are who's doing the modelling, like they really want to like show the garment off to the best for them, don't they? It's just, it adds something extra on the final, that, doesn't it? Yeah.
So the key was to make a transformative gown, which is already just like, what?
You only had like, was it 4.5 hours? I
think so. So you're essentially making two garments that, dresses specifically, that roll up in some way into each other that then can be revealed on the catwalk.
And let's face it, I don't know of any patterns that do that.
No.
So that you've got to...
They all engineered it themselves.
Yeah, you've got to like figure out the way yourself.
So we did have 3 different approaches entirely. Yeah. Tony had constructed a puff ball, which meant that the second dress was encapsulated.
Yeah,
and
like it was
created
the skirt,
volume,
wasn't it?
Which is fab. Really cool idea.
And it was like all held on like a piece of elastic that like when you I think like undid a snap fastener or something, it just all kind of like pinged and loosened and then fell down.
And for drama, the difference between the 2 silhouettes was absolutely fantastic. Just like bam. And also that fabric, I love it. And it's gone. I think it's dead stock, so it's not possible. But that was just a really fun way of like almost nodding to, I've made like a normal kind of black dress, surprise, wild card, and staying true to us aesthetic the entire time. Yeah. And I think the other 2 did as well. So Mia had made like a gorgeous, she brought back the little crystal strips and
I love the crystal straps.
She just is so quintessentially her style as well. So it was a black dress. Yeah. That would then reveal into
it's like a pink sparkly number,
which is probably, gorgeous. 2 completely different.
2 very different looks, wasn't it? Yeah. It didn't
with a Velcro.
Yeah, it didn't quite go to plan for her, did it? And I really, really felt for it. And when Asma came up to her and said, like, is there anything we can do to help? I thought that was so lovely.
Yeah. I think it was down to popping something on backwards or upside down. Also, the way that the dress was coming up was on the wrong way. So that took her too much time. So I think she quickly put the Velcro on and didn't put it in the space.
Right, was that what it was?
So I think it was a time thing.
Yeah. But, and she said about the length, didn't she? Because I remember when she was hemming it, she said, I would have checked this if I've got time. I'm just going to kind of have to hold. And it was too long in the end, wasn't it? So it was a shame. But I mean, Mia should still be so proud of what she achieved.
Absolutely.
Because everybody watching can see, what it would have been with another half an hour. And it was fabulous.
And they were asked to engineer, which is just not easy. If you just got 4 hours on a beautiful wedding dress, ball gown, whatever,
even that,
I think you could then decide, couldn't you, to omit this jewel, omit that, but this, if you didn't have enough time for it, the literal transformation wouldn't happen. So it was really really hard for them to do.
Yeah, definitely. And then Asma's.
Yeah.
Wow.
Firstly, her friend looks so beautiful. It was so like I was like emotional because they were like uni friends and stuff, but I thought the jewel tones that she picked suited her skin tone so beautifully, and the makeup and the styling,
that sparkle
when
that
she was on the runway
fabric.
I was just like, she feels $1 million, you can tell. And so a different type of engineering as well, so a stunning like green, like cascading,
it's just beautiful
dress,
wasn't it?
that was wrapped up, and part of the transformation was kind of very like fairy tale as it came from round the waist and down.
Unwrapped revealed itself by that's the word.
Yes. And so the dress on top was more of a square-ish snaps at the top, which hid that. I mean, it hid a huge bow.
It had like a layer, and then it had another layer over the top, and that was like a blouson layer. That's the word, isn't it? And that kind of like hid any bulk, didn't it? It was so clever. And it was literally held by snaps. Wasn't it? And when Esme said like, it could have done with an extra snap here, I was like, give her a break.
Really, Esme. I'll just pop that on after. But it all held. You could not see a peak of any of it underneath. And it just came down, and it was just such a gorgeous moment.
The blue dress was beautiful. The green dress I just thought was amazing. The fit of it, and that's just the kind of dress style I love to wear as well. So it really appealed to me. I love the sparkle of the fabric, but I love how she used a contrast satin at the back, for the bow, and then there was like a bit where the elastic was like above the cut and below the cutout. I just thought that was such a beautiful detail.
And those details show because they weren't on the black as well.
Yes.
Like black is so chic and will always look good, and if you did a contrast colour, that shows a difference. But to have two dual tones that work in different types of fabric, very
absolutely
beautiful.
And just how all that bow and everything was hidden under that blue dress, I still can't really properly work it out. It was just, I thought she did so well. And I mean, we can say because we've said we're going to put spoilers, I think she was absolutely the deserving winner on the night.
Congratulations.
I think all three of them were absolutely fabulous. All three of them could have won it.
Yes.
But on the night, she
engineering and beautiful palette. It was brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's so lovely to watch them and see them do well, isn't it? And it's just fabulous. I really want that dress.
Well,
I'm going to have to make something similar.
To transform, or just the green one?
Just the green one. Yeah, absolutly. I can't see myself like walking.
We do have an event. We do have an event coming up.
Well, we do.
Be transformative.
I think I'll just go for a really nice dress instead.
Okay, fair enough. It is quite close. So we promised some highlights. Our favourite parts of the whole series. It's a good time to recap them. So good first question is, what was your favourite week?
Favourite week? I always love the final because it's the final.
Yes, iconic.
But I think I would go with episode 8, which was a fashion icon week. I loved like the little black dress. I actually thought the transformation looking back was really quite fun with that, because they were using like an icon to sort of like inspire the look, weren't they? And I thought it was just something a little bit different. I kind of liked that inspiration point. So I think I'd go with Fashion Week. What was yours?
And then much on the same theme, probably because it was conceptual, I liked Art Week.
Okay.
Because again, it provides like a sort of bounce off point, doesn't it? The same as icons, that you kind of got a point to work from, but you can interpret it your own way. So the first challenge was the expressionism skirts with the placement and applique, which just showed us a different technique that we don't really see that often. It was more about, this is an easy construction of a skirt, but we want to see what you do with it. And then there was the canvases, which is just amazing. Taking local artwork and bringing it all together. And then lastly, they did the surrealist brief, which must have been the most versatile catwalk we've ever had. Like, if you have never seen the Sewing Bee before and watched that catwalk and someone said, what is this about? You'd just be like, But that was great for that reason. We had like big red velvet dresses, lace, leather, like cool applique thing from
now making me think maybe that was my favourite week actually.
The quilting, the eyes on the arms,
the Lizzie's when she walked down.
Tony's minimalism, like Cyrilla's dress. It was just so cool.
Absolutely.
It was just the perfect challenge to give everyone a starting point to take surrealism or art in their own
freedom
way.
Then to do what you kind of want with that starting point.
It was just absolutely fantastic.
So next question, Nat, what was your favourite pattern challenge?
So this is really hard because I think they really stepped the game up this time with the pattern challenges. We had bags
all
with
difficult,
like coats. They were just, I would not enjoy a lot of them. Just for the detail. So like kudos to the team for bringing that up and then getting the contestants to do that, because I think it really pushed the boundaries. My favourite has to be the 90s challenge, which was like a callback to girl groups, which was kind of like military cargo pants that were then reimagined. But I thought that was really fun because it's like gender neutral, anyone could make them. And it made me realise that they're easier to sew than I thought they would be. Because trousers are kind of scary sometimes, but the amount of, and in our episode that we've done and we picked out our own, I wanted to make them all. Because there's so many cool fabrics that, I just go, wear jeans. But if I had some cargo pants in my stash, I think I'd really enjoy that. So it's definitely on my sewing list to try.
Well, mine, I'm going right back to episode 1, the twist top, if you remember all the way back to that. I really enjoyed that. I know it's maybe one of the more simple ones. I do think there's maybe like a nostalgic element because that's when they were all involved.
And we
got to see everyone. And it was like the first episode, and I think maybe that like wins me over as well a little bit. But I really enjoyed like seeing the different fabrics that they used. And I thought I think there's something about an odd episode when they make things that are really wearable, that are things I'd want to wear.
Yes.
It does really inspire me. Like, I love the wacky stuff as well, but I think it's nice when they do a few weeks where there's more wearable things for every day.
It was a good challenge to actually test whether you could do that sort of fabric origami as well.
Yeah.
It might look simple, but I've never done a twist top before, so it would require a bit of
I think like for the first one it's like, and it's kind of just you get to meet them all, don't you, and you see like who deals well under pressure and who's done that sort of thing before and who hasn't, and I kind of look back on that episode with fondness for that challenge.
So, what's your favourite transformation challenge?
Yeah.
I know you're struggling to choose.
Well, if I'm honest, actually, the answer was very clear to me on this one, and it was Art Week, and that was the one, if you remember, that had the big canvas paintings that art students had painted, knowing that they were going to be cut up for the show. And I thought the stuff that was made on that was phenomenal. I mean, Asma's like blue swirly one, Mia's it was like a draped dress with big folds and pleats. There was loads.
There was that cool one that Fauve did with the pins
black and white.
They all excelled. It was just, every single look was great.
Yeah, absolutely. And from something so unexpected, but also starting with something really beautiful as well. I think, like I know they like say the episode where you're starting with like household cleaning supplies and things like that. Like, I think those are fun, but I think it was actually really good to see them start with something so beautiful and actually make that into wearable art.
And they definitely, like all of them, looked at the print and were taken by what it was like. And most of all of the garments went with the flow of what the print was, which is
they let the painting dictate what the garment wanted to be, didn't they? I think that for me what stood out by a country mile, because like I said, it's not my favourite, but there have been some good ones this series, and that I just thought was amazing.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
So which was yours?
So, a similar theme, big lot of fabric. I'm going with the shower curtains, which was Fashion Icons Week, inspired by a collection that Esme did years and years ago.
Yeah,
but I've honestly never looked at a shower curtain and gone, oh, they're both hard things to sew with as well, canvas and shower curtains.
Yeah, perhaps we like seeing them given the challenge, don't we?
But they did a similar thing, and a lot of them draped, a lot of them did cool, kind of edgy, fun stuff. Like Tony did a rave thing. Lauren did like a completely see-through kind of dress, which was really nicely constructed as well. I think Mia took sparkly ones. Vicky did like mix of prints and stuff. It was cool. It was really cool.
They're both really surprised.
I was surprised how much I loved it.
Yeah. So Nat, what was your favourite made-to-measure garment?
So I'm taking it back to episode 1 for this one, which you wouldn't expect really, would you? You'd think kind of as the episodes go on, you get more and more intricate garments, but nothing beats how much I want to wear Lizzie's cut-out dress from the first episode.
It was
the
like black and white face print?
Oh my god, yes. But it was like haltered, it came around, the cutout was in the centre here. I just loved it. Yeah. And the way it walked the runway was just so beautiful.
Yeah.
The right fabric choice, the pattern play.
You really did fall in love with it.
I did, and it just gave such a good, that whole challenge really, the cutout challenge gave such a good feeling for what was to come, because we
both loved episode 1 actually, didn't we?
It was so beautiful. I did tell Lizzie that I loved it as well. So.
Oh yeah. Well, mine was from this episode 8, so the supermodel, the Fashion Icon Week, and it was the supermodel 90s dress, and it was Asma's version. She won Garment of the Week from it. It was the one with the cup details, the lace over, I think it was satin, with pleather details, the straps at the back,
a peplum,
the big
tail thing.
Yeah. I mean, it's just. That was the challenge where Esme went, well, it's crap, isn't it? And everyone was like, because it clearly wasn't. It was clearly like the most amazing
But you would
thing
have
ever.
a little heart attack, wouldn't you? Like,
yeah.
But that's Asma taking her like lingerie skills, her bra making skills, like using the fact that she sews with satin every day.
Like
throwaway. I guess that's the epitome of her skill set and done in such a short amount of
that
time.
dress didn't half show off her skills, didn't it? I mean, it was mind-blowingly good.
It had the
so
buckles.
inspiring.
It had those buckles
on the back,
just casually. Like they didn't really even give that enough detail on the show, but that was nuts. Just
and if you remember as well, sort of like along the edges, of like the cups, and then the along the bottom where it like met the pleather, the lace like edging that she'd overlaid. Oh, it's just details just like that. How she gathered the lace under the bottom of the cups. Just effortless. Just absolutely fabulous. Yeah, I'm getting enough words to say about it.
So I'm dying to know, of all of the challenges across the board, every single garment in the Sewing Bee, what was your favourite?
Favourite garment?
Favourite garment.
I do think that's an incredibly difficult question, and it's almost impossible to pick one. So I'm not going to pick any of the ones I've already chose. Mm-hmm. Something different, but the one that stood out to me the second I thought of this question was Lizzie's Boo Boo.
Yes.
And if you remember, it was like all different sort of like colour block panels. Yeah. And then they were in colours that had been inspired by her trip to West Africa.
Yeah, that was gorgeous.
And it sort of like gathered and ruched up the front. The shape of it was fabulous. It looked amazing walking down that catwalk. Yeah. I loved it.
That was a fantastic episode overall. Yeah. Because it was, I mean, that last garment was like a fusion. It was because of the inspiration. Yeah. But the actual like garment itself was inspired by Africa Week, and then she brought her like a kind of Western fabric and you know, to twist onto it. Was really really great.
Just fabulous, so inspiring. I loved the colours. I love the fabric she chose. And it, I mean, she didn't half give herself a challenge to sew that fabric in that time, did she? But everything came together for in that challenge.
It feels like it was made for her as well.
Yeah,
you know, when it's a completely realised concept and garment, you can tell that it reflects the person.
And you know how you always say like you can look at like fashion sometimes and it like takes you somewhere.
Yes,
that garment feels like that for me. Like, you know, just you know, like imagining myself being this super sophisticated person that just swans down, you know, the beach, cocktail in hand, in something like that.
Definitely.
Yeah,
no,
absolutely.
But it's not a garment you'd find anywhere else. Yeah, that's why it's about.
Maybe that's why I love it as much. Actually, because it's so unique.
I've never seen this before.
Yeah, very true. Yeah. So what was yours then?
I'm gonna go with Asma's boiler suit because I thought it was really cool. Yeah. Like we had like a few different boiler suits in there, but she'd done it from a kind of glitzy black fabric, and she'd made it for her daughter. So again, you know, it was the love letter,
that sparkle element, wasn't it?
And then just as simple as replacing the buttons with hardware, just made it really cool. Yeah, and it was for her daughter to go to gigs as well, so it was completely practical. That is a good thing to wear to a gig. Yeah, and
you'd love to wear that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, on paper I kind of thought, but you know. We talked about it in the recap that we did, that boiler suits are so flipping hard to make with proportions. Yep. So it looks so cool and elegant, but again, it is not something you can find anywhere else. Yeah, there are not just glitzy boiler suits out there. Yeah, because it was a boiler suit and not jumpsuit. It's just like a cool like marriage of the two. Yeah, marriage of the two. Absolutely. Yeah. So now that this series is over, it's a very good question to ask. What did we learn? What did we learn? Well, I loved how many crafts they brought into it. So we saw so much across the board. We saw like Lionel, like
we didn't mention that, did we? Reduce, reuse, recycle.
That was fantastic.
That was a good one
that's too. Just another thing in itself, isn't it? Yeah. So bringing crochet in, bringing in. Tony did some like printing. We had some quilting.
Yeah, Mia's like big pom-pom dress thing.
Yeah, they really just like upped the ante on bringing other crafts in. So that's like a fun lesson to learn, that if you're thinking, oh, it's a bit bland or whatever. Yeah. Oh, Tony did those little diamantes on the scuba as well. Yes, to jazz up the thing. Yeah, I'm gonna think of a million more after we're on there. But I thought that was really great, and it's a good way of thinking, how can I challenge myself but without doing like a whole new pattern, you know, maybe like how could I make this from crochet lace.
And some people are just, you know, they sew and don't have other like creative, that, you know, needleworker type hobbies, but you know, lots of people do knit and crochet and do lots of other things, so it is nice if you can blend them sometimes, isn't it?
I thought that was really cool, and also love the innovation in it. So Mia was really like a front leader on all this sort of thing, where she'd done the smoking jacket with the scalloped edge. So just thinking outside the box and thinking, you know, we thought smoking jackets were a bit fuddy-duddy. We've never thought about it. And from our little recap, we were thinking, oh, I'm going to wear this to a wedding. I'm going to make it from this fabric. But, you know, it pays to sort of try to innovate or look at patterns that maybe
and not just be limited by the line drawing of the pattern. Yeah, absolutely. I think one thing I loved from Mia was it was on Boiler Suit Week when she said, life is too short for pattern matching. And I do think, yes, every now and then it's nice to do a bit of pattern matching, but I do think a lot of sewers get really like bogged down and worried by it, and it can spoil the hobby. For some people, you know, some people love it. I get that. Yeah, exactly. And at the end of the day, 99% of what you would buy in a shop is never pattern matched at all.
It's true.
So I'm going to like live by Mia's words of wisdom there and not get too worried.
I've been living by it unknowingly for all this time, but I know what you mean. Sometimes if it's a huge whatever print, sometimes it's hard to. We've got loads of videos from lovely Jo of how to pattern match and do bits and bobs if you need that help.
If you want to.
Yeah, I support that. Yeah. And then, as with any Sewing Bee series, under pressure, there were a few little hiccups, as was,
Well, the final definitely said to me, don't work with Lame fabric under time pressure for a start.
Yes, that's very true.
It's definitely a lesson.
Unless you have that overlocker on hand with the right coloured threads to hand. I mean, that was kind of lucky, wasn't it? They almost like they knew that was going to happen. But
or with Asma with the swimwear challenge, not to iron.
Yes.
Swimwear like
I've definitely ironed things to high heat and hope to hide. And, same with popping a hole in something, snagging something. It's just, I suppose, to try and take care. It happens.
Yeah, and not worry too much if it happens. You know, at the end of the day, the journey of sewing and the making of something is the joy, isn't it? And if we get something wearable and fantastic at the end of it, brilliant. If we don't, we learn something and we have fun making it.
Pop a little flower on top of it. Exactly. Or the visible mending techniques.
Yeah, absolutely. And as the transformation challenge has encouraged us, we can always, remake into something else. And
true. Yeah,
absolutely. So last question, what would we like to see in the next series?
So this is really hard, I suppose, because there's already 10 seasons. You think, what if they're not covered?
Yeah, what
especially
could they possibly
in finals and all that kind of stuff. But I guess what I thought from kind of a more arty perspective is that I'd love some fabric treatments. Sometimes when they're in a transformation and they've got to drape or like whatever, attack it, I've always thought, what if they could just throw some bleach on that?
I was going to say there was a week when you were talking about denim, I think, and talking about distressing it and things like that in one of your recaps.
Yeah, I would love to see that just because it would throw them back to school time. It would just, if there was paints, if there was like a way to distress it, different machines or whatever. Or people making their own fabrics from textures or scraps. There was some patchwork and stuff, but
I'll go like one completely like the opposite of that as well. And I think I ventured onto it earlier, but I would like to see just a few more challenges where there's more garments that we would like to wear every day, and just to see the bees' take on it. Maybe in some more like unusual or printed fabrics. I think just because like I just love watching the sewing. But when it inspires me to make something that I think, I could wear that every day to wear, I could wear that on holiday, I get a real kick out of that, and it really inspires me. But I guess, people will be inspired by all different things, won't they? But just a few more days, every day.
Or something that's maybe a bit more about their personality.
Yes,
so it sounds like a basic challenge because it's like make some trousers, but you would get like 10 different pairs of like wearable trousers, and it's about how they've done them, and then their personality
like
can also shine.
The cut-out dress challenge from episode 1, like that's probably an example of what I mean. Like those dresses, I went away from that series and that episode, and I really wanted to make dresses after watching
and it wasn't too avant-garde that you couldn't go down to the
I think a bit of both is a nice balance.
I agree. That is a really good idea. And then the other thing I thought of was different cultures.
West Africa Week was
fab. Yeah, it was really great, especially that they brought in the expert. So I think they could do that. They could challenge. We could look at different ways of sewing from around the world.
Yeah. And did we say that this series was the first time I think they've brought like a guest on, and it was a lovely touch, that wasn't it? Yeah.
No, I thought it was great.
And the one thing that I always think every series that we watch, I always think perhaps in the final, I'd love to be able to see just one challenge of what they could do in a longer time period. So maybe not, like days and days.
Stop over.
But maybe like 7 hours or something.
Yes. Yeah.
And just, like maybe on that final made to measure, for example, just to give them a bit more time, but expecting more, expecting that, they're not just going to make a dress in 4 hours and then sit there for 3 twiddling their thumbs, that, they could really go to town then, really finish things wonderfully. And I just wonder whether that would put a good spin on it. Maybe it wouldn't make for brilliant TV.
It would allow for more couture techniques. It would allow them to take it to another level, because other sewing TV shows that we've seen, quite often American ones, they sometimes get to work on it for a day and then go back and come back in the morning, and then you have fresh eyes, and it is good to see excellence given chance to grow.
Rather than it just
panic.
always being about how quickly can something be made.
I think my grandma would enjoy that because she finds it quite stressful to watch because a lot of corners are cut. I love a cut corner. I'm like, just get it done. That's my way of sewing. But I know that she really likes the process and to see it all done properly.
Maybe just to hit a little bit of that for the people that would really want to see something finished really well, and just I think more than that though, just to see how far could they go with a bit more time. I find that really exciting.
Yes, that's a good shout.
But let us know what you think.
So that's a wrap. It's over.
So
this
sad,
is it. We're saying goodbye. But not bye forever. Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed our whole season.
Yeah, I'm sad like the sewing bees ended, but I'm sad like our little series has ended
too. Little weekly videos.
It's only ended about the sewing bee for this year, hasn't it? Not forever.
So let us know of the questions that we asked, what your opinions were. Did you agree with us? What were your favourite challenges?
What were your favourites? Your made to measure, transformation challenge. What was your favourite episode? What did you think of this series overall, actually, compared to previous years?
Yeah, and the contestants.
I mean, definitely, I think if we watched back, say, series 1 now, they're so different. It's developed so much, hasn't it? So do let us know in the comments, which were your favourite bits, and what did you think of the winner? Was Asma your winner? I mean, we both thought she fully deserved it, didn't we? Although all 3 of them did amazingly well and should all be so proud of themselves. Such an achievement for them. They must feel amazing. I hope they do feel amazing. To say you're a sewing bee finalist. How amazing would that be? So do let us know in the comments as well if there's anything in future videos you'd like me and Nat to chat about. Just let us know your ideas. We're always open to them for video content on the channel. And it's sad to say, but
we'll see you
soon.